Hey, so today we're going to learn about the plasma membrane, which is also known as the cell membrane. And I want you to know that it's known as the cell membrane because you may hear it used both ways. If you were to go on to Google and search plasma membrane images or cell membrane images, you would find pretty much the exact same things would pull up. So know that if you hear plasma membrane, also know that we're referring to cell membranes. So the definition of what the plasma membrane is it's a flexible boundary of a cell that separates the cell from its surroundings. So as you can see in the picture, that brown outline that goes around the cell, that's the membrane. It separates what's on the inside of the cell from what's on the outside of the cell. So if the plasma membrane is a flexible boundary that separates the inside of the cell from the outside of the cell, why does it need that? Why does the cell need to have that? Well, the plasma membrane's job is to regulate what comes into the cell and what leaves the cell. And it also provides protection and support for the cell. So you can kind of think of it as like our security at the front desk at HSRA. We have that there as a way to provide support for us so we know who's coming in and out of our school. They let some people in, some people out, and then they stop some people from coming in. The cell works the same way. So that idea then of some things can get into the cell and some things can leave the cell is called selective permeability. Selective meaning the cell can choose what comes in and out of its membrane. So the definition would be selective permeability is when some molecules are allowed to pass through the plasma membrane at any time. They can come in no matter what. Other molecules are only allowed at certain times, and some molecules are never allowed in. So again, you can think of this like our front desk area. Pretty much teachers, we can come in and out of the school whenever we want. But then there's sometimes where the front desk is like, nah, you students, you gotta wait up front. Nope, students come in now, this is cool. And then there are some molecules, some people, that we will never allow in our building. The plasma membrane works the exact same way. Molecules such as water, carbon dioxide can move in and out of the cell whenever needed because there's so many molecules of water and carbon dioxide getting in and out of the cell. Some molecules it wants in it sometimes, but it doesn't want it in at the other times. It's already got enough. And then some molecules you don't ever want to get inside your cells. Now that we know the definition of the plasma membrane and the actual function of the plasma membrane, we need to learn about the structure of the plasma membrane. So the plasma membrane is made up of what's called a phospholipid bilayer. Bilayer meaning two, bi means two layers. Phospho is a phosphate group and lipids are fats. So if you look at that diagram that you have on your slide, each one of those little molecules is a phospholipid. So it's got that red head and then the two fatty acid tails. The red head is the phosphate group and the two tails are your lipids, your fatty acids. So this phospholipid bilayer is a double layered sheet that makes up nearly all plasma membranes. So any plasma membranes, not just cell membranes. And a phospholipid is made up with that phosphate head and the two fatty acid tails. So again, if you look at that diagram that you'll see each one of those little red molecules with the two fatty acid tails are a phospholipid, and they form two layers in order to provide that protection and support around the cell.